Data analytics gives you the advantage of getting to answer questions in a faster time. In esports, you have a topic where all those technologies can be applied with an actual great purpose.
It is time for some NA Dota. Let's talk about what we're going to see in this next elimination match. We're halfway through our best of ones. My name is Rich. I'm going to be your host. I'm joined on the desk by Gods and Black. Cold over there, man.
Like trying to keep warm, you know.
I just looked over and you're like all bundled up.
You know, there's already a few people in the hospital. We don't need any more.
don't worry. It's about to heat up. Forward versus
nice.
J.Storm. Seamless transition. Thank you for the prop. But ultimately here, this one, is it as tough to call as the other ones today? We haven't gotten a single one. Right here on the analyst panel, we had to bring out the big guns. We got Gods here now. Every single prediction has been wrong. Do you think this one is a little bit easier to call?
Yes and no. Yes, because I think there's a clear favorite. No, because it's a regional matchup. So, you know, anything can happen when you have these NA versus NA, China versus China, SEA versus SEA matchups because teams know each other so well. Drafts can be different, plays can be different. So,
and
I don't know.
Ultimately here, I think Forward is one of those teams, though, that we've said quite a few times. If we're going to look at a few of the teams in the lower portion of the bracket, especially the teams that are in this round of best of ones, they do seem like one of the biggest threats. What is it about Forward that makes them one of the stronger teams in our lower portion of the bracket?
I mean, they kind of fell off quite hard. Last year they had like a tremendous run. They came out of nowhere, won a lot of lands. Then ever since TI, they always qualify for the major, but they don't really perform too well there.
Okay.
What do you contribute that to? Like, why do you think they've fallen off so hard?
For Forward? And they looked decent the last major. They ended up losing to...
Well, the top 8, right? Was it? Or was it? Were they top 12?
No, they got top 12. They lost, I want to say, a close series to somebody. I can't remember.
Was it Fnatic? I think it was Fnatic.
Fnatic was J.Storm.
Oh.
That was a close series as well. Fnatic barely got into the top 8. But
it might have been VG, actually, I think.
No, was it EG?
Might have been EG.
I think EG dropped down the lower bracket and they lost EG. So I think it was partly because of the bracket there. And again, this is another tournament where they had a tough, group, I guess you could say. Now maybe they're going to have a tough bracket. They had Secret and LGD, the two teams who are now in the top 6. One, they win a bracket matchup. So Forward have not been dealt the best hand. They took a game off both those teams, yet still find themselves in the lower bracket. And even if they win this, then they go to versus Fnatic, who's another amazing team. So it's a tough draw for Forward Gaming.
I got kind of distracted. Just like the scarf and the tee. Yeah. You just kind of look like you know how to do magic or something right now. Every time I look over the camera shot at you, you look like you're at a Quidditch match or something. But J.Storm, this is a team that I haven't really gotten to see.
I'll wear my Harry Potter scarf tomorrow if that helps you. I brought that one with me.
So when we talk about J.Storm, one of the main things in this tournament that we did put the focus on was, of course, Fear being added to this roster. Have you gotten to watch much of J.Storm play, Black, with Fear?
Haven't seen too many games with them, just the results, which obviously weren't too great. And him joining the team, I expected it. Honestly, I didn't know what to expect because the last time he played position 4 was a long, long time ago. And for me, he was always this more like stable kind of carry player. And then he himself said he wanted to transition to position 5. So then him joining a team playing as position 4, I know it seems a bit odd because nowadays the position 4s are very flashy, I would say, most of them.
Yeah.
They need to be around the map.
You know?
Yeah. Make a lot of the plays happen. And yeah, so I'll be very curious to see how he actually performs on the big stage now when it all matters.
It's important to be critical when we're looking at what Forward's already been able to do here at the CQ Major. They've gone against Secret. They've gone against, well, the one win that they had, that team just already managed to stay in this tournament and a little bit of an upset. They've also gone against LGD. So they have gone against some of the tougher teams. They had a tough group. And now going up against J.Storm, I feel like, is the onus on Forward, or is it on J.Storm in this matchup, in your opinion? Is this going to be Forward just making sure that they play the way that they have come out and played so far in this tournament, or is it going to be J.Storm rising to the occasion for you, Gods?
I think it's more Forward. Just keep doing what they're doing. J.Storm need to fix up some of their drafts. Their drafts look pretty bad. I was going to try to use something more neutral, but I think it's fair to say their drafts have been bad. They did some carry Sven.
They did Morph Terrorblade.
Morph TB. Yeah, they've had some shockingly bad looking drafts.
I'm sorry to bring in like really absolutely irrelevant stuff typically, but I did just see Fear.
Yeah, you like Fear, I know.
No, That has nothing to do with it.
You're the biggest fanboy of Fear, dude.
But I've never seen on camera. It's been true in this tournament. I've never seen somebody eat a banana on camera and not win the match. So I'm going to make a prediction right now for J.Storm.
Okay.
I think the upset's going to come in. I'm going to make you guys make a prediction now as well. Do you think that the banana is going to be able to carry J.Storm, or do you think that forward's going to be able to roll all over him and send him home?
This is so hard to predict because
I mean, without draft and stuff, I think I'll just have to say forward, just because on paper they should be taking it.
Well, I'm going to be going against the analysts right now, which
you're going against the stats too.
I'm going
0% win rate.
Numbers.
That is rough. 0% is rough.
Yeah.
Especially because I heard they had really good scrims leading up to this, so I expected a bit more.
It's funny. There's another team in that. Not exactly the same boat, but in Aster, there was another team that we heard in scrims looked really strong and hasn't necessarily shown it yet here at the CQ Major, and that's actually in our next matchup. They're going to be playing against TNC. So something to keep in your mind right now as we take a look at resolution on your screen. And we're going to be getting in the draft in a second here. I will say, though, that I haven't been wrong yet today with any of my predictions.
What you didn't predict?
And all the analysts have been wrong.
Yeah, we put Fogged on the panel because we were just doing such a shit job. But
at predicting?
Yeah,
predictions have been pretty good so far from Lacoste.
Okay, look.
I think Lacoste has gotten everything right.
We need Lacoste in every panel is what I'm hearing.
But we're going to be jumping in now with the drafts, and drafts already we know. Something that could make or break this best of one, especially when you said drafts look bad from J.Storm so far, God. So how would you like to see this draft go? What will change your opinion? What would be a good draft coming out from J.Storm? What in particular has gone awry?
I guess just more balanced than anything, like, you know, ticking as many boxes as you can, having like that, you know, good late game carry, strong lanes, make sure you have some team fight hero, make sure you have a catch hero. It just, you know, don't go too all in one direction, which is what it felt like some of their drafts did. And don't pick certain heroes like Carry Sven. Like, you got to stay at least somewhat within the meta.
And don't pick two super late game hard carries.
Speaking of Lacoste, Lacoste keeps going when he sees a bad draft. He's like, look, you got a list, and you just got to check off a few of the things in the list. And every bad draft that he's seen, he feels like they're checking off one thing, and they just keep checking it off again and again and again. And now we're going to see Grimstroke nice and early here. This is one of the most represented heroes that we've seen in our tournament so far. Before we even got to today, 27 games with a 44% win rate. And one of the big talks on the panel is what actually backs up Grimstroke efficiently. But first, we're going to see Lich come out for Forward Gaming with a Terrorblade, an early Terrorblade. How do we like this, Gods?
I think it's good. You get your hard carry in the first two, and you can save your final pick for your mid, since Forward Gaming have second pick. This is pretty common when you have last pick of the draft. You generally want to get the favorable matchup mid because you can counterpick them. Carry matchups aren't quite as important when you can just pick a TB who isn't really hard counted by too much.
Okay.
Why do you think they picked the Grim over the Lich? I feel Lich just offers so much more in a game. I'm finding Centaur though, finally. Yeah. We've been waiting for it.
We've
Probably
seen
just comfortable with Grimstroke, I guess.
Just more comfortable?
Yeah,
but it just feels like Lich is so much stronger in every regard.
Grimstroke's better versus TB maybe? Is it? I don't know. Lich negates the damage. Grimstroke has a silence at least.
Yep. I mean, sure. I'm just not the biggest Grimstroke believer. Maybe they can change my mind here.
I think Grimstroke is one of the strongest 5 positions alongside Lich. I'd say Lich, Grimstroke. I don't know what other.
Centaur Grimstroke is really good though. You get the double edge.
Quadruple edge.
Quadruple edge.
Yep.
Ching ching.
Thank you. Now everybody will know what to listen for.
Yeah, you're welcome.
This is the panel, too, that almost every single draft goes Centaur. And we've seen it get banned quite a few times, but I think this is one of the first times that we have seen it get picked on this stream here. We only did get to watch groups A and C before we got into bracket play. Now we are going to see the Centaur from J.Storm paired up with that Grimstroke as we wait to see what these final final bans will be in this round.
The boss cap.
He does look like a boss, too.
He does.
He is a boss.
Yeah, he looks like this very fierce boss. If you mess this up, you're fired.
I don't know if Nahaz has done the stats. This is his kind of stat too, because it's you know related to him. But this might be the first professional Dota 2 team with 2 players who are 30 or older.
Who's the second? March?
March is 30.
Really?
Yeah, they've got 2 30-year-olds. I think that's the first.
This might be.
That's Nahaz stat right there. Nahaz, I need the data on that one.
Okay.
A phone call coming in?
Yeah. the stats hotline.
The instant text coming through.
Yeah.
See the Timber ban, obviously very strong against the Lich. And Terrorblade. Rubik. One of the best heroes against Centaur, I'd say. Can steal like 2 good spells. Retaliate is a terrible spell to steal though. So.
You like the Rubik here, Gods?
Decent. It's not like the ideal 4 position, but you know, when Tusk, Earth Spirit banned out, you sometimes have to go for Rubik. Although there was still ET in the pool. I feel like ET is better as a 4 position in general. Gives you a bit more just stuns and lockdown, which is something that Rubik has telekinesis, but I just feel like ET is a better team fighter.
Yeah, I generally don't like 2 supports that are both squishy in the backlines.
Yeah.
Feels a bit risky to run.
It's where if they got like a, you know, like mag PA type thing here, I feel like these supports are just food against them. Even Lich having Frost Arm, I don't think is enough against the PA.
Yep, they could just do mag PA if they wanted to.
Maybe not so much their style. Wonder what Moo's going to end up wanting to play here.
Honestly, I don't know what style J.Storm has or identified themselves with, so I'm not entirely sure.
Juggernaut. That's a move here. He likes playing this a lot.
It's like Juggernaut is so bad against TB.
That's, yeah, I'd say that's
terrible. Rubik has really good spells to steal now. Lich is quite good against Jug. I don't understand the pick too much, because the synergy with Grimstroke also isn't really there.
My first thought was just like, oh, it's a Jug, it's a good carry, you know. And then I see the other heroes on 4, I'm like, wait a second, this is a bad pick.
Yeah, so
it is a bad pick.
Juggernaut gets locked in, and you say basically every single hero that's matched up against, it's a bad matchup. So what is a single positive reason to be locking in the Juggernaut? Is it just because it's strong?
High pace, early game. You can pressure a lot of towers with the healing ward. Other than that, it's not... I mean, strong lane, of course. Yeah. But other than that, there's not too much.
I feel like they're forced to pick a mid that addresses TB in a significant way now, like a Tinker type hero.
Yeah.
Like otherwise, I just don't feel like they're gonna, you know, how do you kill anyone without some actual magic damage? Like a TB, a Pugna or a Tinker. I think are like the 2 heroes that I think could work for J.Storm mid.
The biggest criticisms I had about Moo as a carry in the past was that he can't really play these hard carries, and it might be a weakness that is getting exploited here.
You don't think he played a pretty good TB and stuff? I thought. Like
yeah, but TB is taken. It's like the only hard carry he really plays, and then PA also. But PA is not really considered like a super hard carry, more like an active carry. Then he likes his Timbers, of course his Juggernaut. But the matchup itself is very bad. Jug against TB is. And now he even lanes against the Tidehunter, which is not great for him.
Yeah, tough lane hero that's going to just build all those armor or items, Vlad's, Buckler, whatever. And
are we thinking position 4 Centaur or offlane?
Probably offlane. OD. Okay, there's your magic damage against TB, and means Jug is not like your only carry this game.
TB is also really good against OD though. Like it can go both ways.
Okay.
You can blow him up really easily with a meta plus Manta Star.
Yeah, and you just heavily outrange him, I guess.
Yeah. And as well as BKB, of course. If Terrorblade hits his BKB Skadi timing, there's nothing OD can do.
10 seconds.
So
but it's the way to kill him.
Terrorblade is kind of who we're going to be paying a lot of attention to in this matchup. He could snowball for forward.
I mean, whenever Terrorblade is picked, it's always the centerpiece usually. It's just the guy that sets your pace. If he goes unchecked, uncontrolled, then he will just completely run over the game. So
I've already seen that today. We saw it yesterday, and now we might see it once again in Forward Gaming versus J.Storm, another elimination match here. We're almost done the draft phase. We're seeing a few more bands come out, see those final picks, and then we'll get down to business.
Yep, the OD pick is good because it addresses the Tidehunter and the TB to an extent. But yeah, we'll see what the last pick is. Still waiting to see whether Centaur's position 4 or 3. And
not hearing you guys sound too confident right now on what J.Storm is doing. Is there any pick that can swing your opinion at this point, or is it just looking dire for you, Gods?
I think it's maybe less the pick and how they play. Like, I'd like to see them play super aggressive and try and crush the lanes. Like, aggro tri-lane with the Lich, with the, Jug, Grimstroke +1 into the TB. Try and crush the TB's lane. Get a hero that can maybe win 1v1 against Tide. I guess that means you don't want to run Centaur 1v1 versus Tide, so you'd have to play Centaur 4 position, but...
Yeah. Timber is banned.
To me, that's the way you win this game, is by crushing the lanes, because your hero matchups don't look good right now.
Yeah, you will have to, but on the other hand, Rubik plus Lich is a very strong dual support combination in a lane.
When you have Metamorph, like, you're just, you get kills with that.
Yeah. You have the damage reduction of the Fade Bolt, you have the damage mitigation from the Frost Shield, you have Terrorblade, who's just naturally quite tanky against the physical damage.
Phoenix.
So that's a position 4 Phoenix, I assume.
That was the old Milan special, but
yeah,
Milan no longer here.
I mean, it could be a position 3 Phoenix. He does quite well against Tide 1v1. But I don't know if it's still run as a position 3.
I see this and I'm just, I think they're not going for that. Like, let's just go trial lane versus them. They're more likely running some dual lanes here or
forward. What are we looking for?
Does it help them smash those lanes though, the Phoenix?
Not really. No, I think that Phoenix is not a good trial lane hero.
It's more to secure team fights, I think.
Yeah.
What are we looking for forward? They like their DP on Yawar.
Yeah, maybe if you considering Saint-Kill the Egg you're against an OD, so the Pugna always is a possibility as well.
Pugna,
Sniper if you really want to get a second carry. Sniper is great against Egg and the OD. This is such a good sniper game if not for the fact you have TB on your team.
Sniper TB is a bit greedy, but
yeah, they'll take the Pugna.
Pugna you mentioned a little bit earlier on as well, a little bit safer than maybe going for that sniper. And all in all, we've already said pretty much all there is to say about J.Storm's lineup. We said what we need them to do. We want to see them go as quick as they can for those lanes, really commit to trying to achieve that early on in the game. But on the other end, for Forward Gaming, how do we feel, Black? Do we like what they've put together?
I think the lineup makes a lot of sense. We spoke about the boxes they have to tick, and I think they pretty much ticked all of them.
Yeah,
with
very
their lineup.
Stable. Yeah, I like. But I think we're gonna see more of this. Just first to pick TB. It's kind of back, you know.
Yep.
It never really left. 7.19 it was the go-to, and it still feels like a very strong way to open your draft.
Yeah, and I think it's even stronger now that the carry matchup is completely in Forward's favor. The mid matchup is basically countered as well. So the core 1v1 matchups are countered already. So if the lanes go well for Forward, I don't see them losing this game.
All right, and now we're going to be ready to jump into the action here. We got to be paying attention to the lanes. They need to be hit hard. Otherwise, J.Storm may not be able to take it. Keep in mind, folks, this is another elimination series. Throughout all of them, SAP is going to be providing us with their analytic expertise. But let's get into the action and see who's going home next.
Thanks so much, Rich. And yes, a best of one Forward Gaming versus J.Storm Fogged. What do you think? We're seeing this Phoenix come out again. It was a signature hero for J.Storm, obviously a new player playing it. What do you think about the game?
This Pugna pick for me is amazing. I love Pugna versus OD. The OD suffers so much versus this because your BKB is your absolute most crucial timing, and it's going to take you quite a long time, and you kind of want to rush it in a way now in this game when you're playing versus Pugna because you kill yourself on your orb. Like even casting your orb or not casting your ulti, if the nether ward is down, you're gonna get killed. And they don't really have a way to find the ward either, right? Like sometimes I see like there's a Beastmaster or somebody that can locate where that ward's positioned. This game, they don't really have that so much. So I do think the Pugna was an excellent last pick for them. And overall, their draft, their core matchups look pretty solid. And on J.Storm, the one thing I was pretty confused is like they picked this Grimstroke and starts excellent lane, right? Like Centaur, Grimstroke, this double stun, Swell 2, so much damage comes out between them. But the problem is that they don't really have a combo. What's their combo with their Soulbind in this game?
Yeah, it doesn't really feel like there's a great one.
I see Double Edge and I see
Astral Imprisonment,
and I think that's it. Besides, Phantom Embrace your own, but. They don't really have a lot of different things that synergize with it. So we'll see how it plays out, though. I am favoring Forwards a bit here, especially because of this last big Pugna, though. And what I saw from Terrorblade in the earlier game of the day just seems like this hero is back.
Yeah, I mean, that's all it takes, really, is like one big mistake there, and suddenly your base is going to be gone. Combo that together with a Pugna that's just applying like consistent damage on the towers, it's a problem.
Okay, this is cool. J.Storm's looking to do a late smoke to try to surprise somebody on the bounty run. They just actually popped that smoke.
Oh, but Universe not going to be taken unawares, is going to be hiding out behind the tower, and it should just be a trade-off of 2 runes apiece, most likely. Maybe we see Fear make the movement in towards the mid, see if he can go for a Curry Sniper. He's just going to hang out there and see if anybody shows up for the creep wave.
I'm mostly going to be looking at the mid matchup. I'll be taking glances at the other sides. But yeah, this mid matchup, Pugna wins, but OD can do decent because you always have your Astral to at least last hit when you do get decrept. But yeah, Pugna's a monster of a hero versus OD.
Oftentimes in the past, we would see Bryo be one of those standout players for J.Storm, always trying to make a lot of moves there.
Yawar gets the last hit and the deny at the same time. Very nice.
That was pretty sick.
Yep.
And of course, is going to have another Nether Blast there, gets both of those, and just going to have to battle for the range creep. Top lane, it looks like they might be going in a little bit as well, but it's just going to be a walk away. March, the one playing the Phoenix this time, and he will be punished a little bit as they ran forward, gave him a lot of right clicks.
Yeah, these are some weak lanes coming out from J.Storm too. The Centaur, Phoenix. Once they get level 2, I mean, the Phoenix does become a lot stronger, but Lich Rubik is extremely threatening. Bottom lane, I think Grimstalk and Jug, they do have kill potential. We talked about that a lot yesterday. The reason a lot of times you see this Jug versus Tide is because you're all magic damage in the early game, so the spin is really advantageous. But Universe is in his safe lane, so he's gonna get stuff down here.
Yeah. That stun not looking like it's going to hit. And, well, Universe, as you said, getting a good bit of levels, or rather experience early on. And we'll hit level 2 now, Kraken Shell. So should be able to walk away if they happen to get like an Inkswell stun on him.
He's got the lane in the perfect position to like at his tower, so they can't actually dive him.
Pretty far forward here, and he is going to have another lift in a second from MSS. They might not even need it. They just keep punching him down. Resolution. Well, MSS takes that one for himself. That doesn't have the lift yet, actually.
Yeah, just most people skill the Fable level 1.
Yeah.
It's like every single time. Most of the time you skill Telekinesis, it's just not a good level 1 ability.
Yeah.
It's got nerfed way too many times. So it looks like, I mean, very advantageous 3 lanes for forward coming right out. Like top lane, it's going to be a free farm TB. Centaur's not getting much of anything. Tidehunter has the wave in a good spot for himself. Mid lane is a Pugna advantageous matchup, like we said. So definitely a bit of pressure onto J.Storm already in these. I mean, it's 2 minutes in, but...
Well, a little jump here onto Universe. We'll get hit there, and Kraken Shell not proccing yet. Good body blocks from Moo, but doesn't really look like Universe is phased at all. We'll get a couple more hits before he uses the salve. And we're seeing the Pugna kind of dismantle the OD in this mid lane. Already 16-7 versus the 10-2. It was looking a little bit bad a second ago, and well, we'll see if they can keep it up there. 7-9 is pretty intense.
It's just, I mean, Pugna is just such a good hero versus OD at all parts of the game. Like lane, OD can do okay to get some last hits with Astral, like I was mentioning, but yeah, you get crushed.
MSS taking the last hit, and then the Centaur know about it a little bit. March there, throws out some spirits onto SVG.
UR's even gone for an early point in the Nether Ward, which you don't see too many people do, but that's even more harassment and even more annoyance versus the OD.
So 3 minutes in, slight lead so far for Forward Gaming, and Frev again going to get ran at here. It looks like Resolution throws out the hoof stomp, or rather, excuse me, Frev does, and Resolution chasing him down now. Couple more punches. Is he going to get into range for it? Yes, they do indeed.
Yeah, get that last hit, MSS. Get yourself your nice little arcane boots if you want. Or, I mean, he might go for different greedy items, but I did actually like that I saw the buying of the arcane boots again on the Rubiks. In comparison to the past, I was seeing like Yap sort of going Yules every game. Yeah. It seems like because of the rise of the tri-lanes again, having this arcane boot just seems much more useful.
Yeah, so valuable. SVG takes some damage there, but he has the Frost Shield, and that pretty much stops all the pressure. And March has already used his dive, but with those spirits there, it looks like he's going to be able to force back MSS.
Forev's getting nothing up here, though. 6 last hits compared to 22-14 of the Terrorblade that he's against. He's getting levels, but now they're going to start making it to a full tri-lane. As, I mean, their dual lane bottom, yeah, Jug's getting free farm, but Tidehunter's getting plenty, so their dual lane bottom did not work. Maybe they should have moved Fear up here sooner.
Maybe trying to bait something out here, but the Inkswell does manage to find the stun onto this Terrorblade, and he's taking a lot of damage trying to walk away. Does have a Tango working, and they're able to kill off Forev, so all that damage doesn't amount to much when he can just heal up afterwards. Salve used.
Yeah, I think maybe Fear should have came up a little bit sooner. The problem is that Jug doesn't want to be in a straight 1v1 versus like a Tidehunter, but they weren't actually able to shut down Universe, really. Yeah. So yeah, definitely quite a bit of pressure as we do have those bounty runes coming out, and Forward is setting up to at least get 3 of them at the moment.
March doesn't have dive for 5 more seconds, so we won't be able to contest for that one. And it looks like Moo, a little bit late to the party for the other bounty as Universe picked that one up. But yeah, you know, I think a lot of people, they look at this matchup and they're saying, okay, you know, 2 teams that are in the best of ones probably won't go far afterwards no matter what. But the thing to keep in mind about this Forward Gaming squad, they were in a group with LGD and Secret, and they took games off of them.
They did. And they've been, I mean, they've been looking like a team that's been kind of on the rise. They have some shaky games, but overall, like, they have really strong players.
Oh, life drain there.
Yeah, getting aggressive.
Bryle down to pretty low HP.
They've got the rotations, too, already coming in. They want to put the pressure on with this catapult. It's 5 minutes in. They wanted to try to get a dive into some big tower pressure with Pugna, but rotations coming in.
Yeah, they glyph it up, but wasn't able to make anything of it. SVG is going to run into fear here, maybe, although MSS also AFK for a moment. Bryle goes for the banishment. The Astral, Yawar moves into position. He has a life drain again in a second and able to turn it around with the Fade Bolt. MSS finds another lift up, trying to run away. March doesn't want to step too far forward as Yawar does have another Nether Blast. Can he find this kill? Ooh. Banishment, the walk away. That does force Bryle far forward, and MSS will punch him a few times for the trouble.
Lots of movements coming out around that mid lane, that 5 minute mark, like we said, wanting to be able to put pressure. Good save there by the Astral to protect his teammate. But yeah, forward come out ahead again on that one. In this quick early rotation is mid.
Thinking about going. They find themselves this Pugna trying to take it off and is going to be able to get the kill onto Yawar. MSS moving forward, needs some more mana, pulls back the punch. Are they going to be able to find this kill? Needs another Fade Bolt, a couple more seconds, but doesn't have the mana.
They get the D-ward out of it though, but yeah, good movement there coming in from Fear, TPing back in the mid lane. They get the setup. Having to use the sanities to get the kill, but very needed for the OD.
They realized that that ward was up there when Fear canceled the Stroke of Fate also, and they realized that it wasn't going to hit. So just a little heads up play there, having the vision down ahead of time. Even decrep there for the make sure he gets the last hit.
That's the worst when you're playing support and you're like, I really just want to get some last hits or something in the mid lane, and then the enemy mid laner just focuses absolutely everything on denies and just making you get nothing.
Yeah.
Support life.
Oh, the punch. All right, well, March gets him back for it.
It does seem that both teams are starting to farm a little bit. Looks like Lich is even just like pulling. Universe got sent back to base, and Resolution is being as efficient as he can be. Meta, hit Ancients. The best way to always use your meta.
Yeah. And it's relatively even between the Jug and the Terrorblade. Pugna a little bit ahead of the OD, and even at this point, it's kind of evened out between the Tidehunter and the Centaur as well. Yeah. So all in all, not too bad of a position for J.Storm coming out of this laning stage, as we do have level 6 on the Tidehunter. If there's any opportunity, might rotate in for a Ravage possibly, but certainly doesn't need to push the issue.
Yeah, Fortive caught up so much because of that movement that happened, right? The supports from forward went to mid to try to set up for that 5 minute catapult wave, so then Terrorblade Resolution has to leave the lane, and that makes Fortive just full catch up on him.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Moo might spot out SVG here, does have an Omni Slash available as the chase is coming, but doesn't want to fully commit for that one. And well, with that, SVG's backs out. Another little usage there, trying to get the Nether Ward caught, and Forev gonna see if he can chase down MSS, who's been the beneficiary of all these kills. Will be a tasty prize for the Centaur.
I mean, that's a very big kill there. I mean, it's very rich. Rubik as well, playing very greedy, stepping up so far to try to get some extra experience in last hits by himself. As yeah, I mean, it's a farm game. They get the kill, but look at everybody on the map. We see Tidehunter's jungling, Terrorblade's jungling, OD's jungling, Grimstroke's pulling.
Classic
a bit of a
Dota.
slowdown. Yeah, a bit of a slowdown for NA Dota.
Oh, again, Moo is here. Does still have that Omni Slash. They're going to use it on a Universe, and he just says, "See you later, nerds. I'm out of here."
Ooh. They even used the Stampede too. Not enough damage. That's 2 ultis committed. And he has Ravage when he comes back, when he wants to walk in. If they have meta too. So if they want to try to set up to just take like a fight around a tier 1, they are very, very strong on the side of forward right now.
Oh, nice play there by Fear, but is it enough? No! Able to take off that Phantom's Embrace and get the Sinister Gaze to break the TP. And that is going to hurt, having to walk back to lane afterwards.
Oh, did they place another? Oh, I think they just put another mid ward in the same spot, and Yawar got a secondary D ward. So they've killed, yeah, I think 2 wards down that mid lane.
Oh. Universe doesn't really have to fear that much in this lane anymore, at least until Omni Slash is back up. And you can see that this is one of the downsides to the J.Storm draft, is basically only 2 ways to cancel TPs right now, with the Hoof Stomp and the OD Astral Imprisonment. Inkswell is not the most reliable in the world.
Yeah. And they're setting up for something down bottom. I mean, Moo has stepped up very far by himself. The rotation from the supports are coming in. Like we said, Universe has Ravage.
Oh, and he just used spin.
He pump faked it though, and Moo got the sense that something's up, and he's okay.
Oh, heads up play there from Moo. He sticks around a second longer, and he's dead.
As soon as he sees the pump fake, he's like, oh, people rotating.
Yeah.
They're trying to set up a kill on me.
Yeah, nice play. And, well, meanwhile, Uar keeps the pressure on this tower here.
Oh my god, that's the third Obs Ward in a row that I've seen Forward just take out in the matter of like 3 minutes, I think. 3 or 4 minutes. So J.Storm is going to be really limited on their vision. They have this one ward that's placed now in mid, but besides that, I don't really think they only have one more on somebody. Okay, they have 2 more placed up. Wow, they've the 3 wards were de-warded early on. I guess they'd held on to some from earlier.
Now, in the meantime, Moo just comes back into the lane, and Tidehunter obviously can't really go on him, particularly with that healing ward down. And that's something that's going to need to be kept an eye on is Forward obviously taking out that healing ward. They have a couple different heroes that can do it. Probably like a TB illusion would be the best.
That's probably the best, yeah. Easiest one to do so.
But with that healing ward down and Stampede later, will be some good get-out-of-jail-free cards if things go awry. But so far, MSS is able to take over this lane as the TB heads back to jungle, as we've seen so often after that Pugna takes the mid ward. Where do you want them to go next with this? Do they need to really sort of keep the pressure on anywhere, or are they comfortable just keeping on farming, getting Rezo big?
They're fine with that. Like Rezo can just Rezo's game is in the jungle.
Yeah,
it's all about Uar's movements as well as the supports and playing around like Ravage if they want to do so like that. Well, on J.Storm, I think they want to be a little bit faster in making these plays.
Oh, smoke down towards the bottom side. They're going to run into this Tidehunter. You can see that's the place that Terrorblade's been. He's not here for this fight as Universe chased down by Bryle. They have the Astral, still Ravage available. Meanwhile, Bryle wanting to find that kill. Ravage turning, trying to fight, trying to kill. They already popped the Sun, though, in Uar. He's caught there for the moment. The double Astral is forever went in for it. But they might come out right. No, after the stun, still so much damage out there as well. The Omni Slash, Uar trying to live through it. It was a little bit sloppy from J.Storm, but they get the job done in the end, as this is going to be 4 heroes most likely dead. Stroke of Fate, SVG trying to run. I mean, he's eventually going to go down here. Yeah. Even throw the Inkswell on the creep, but big play there for J.Storm.
That was huge, even though I mean, that was those Centaur Blink reveal too. He's got a very early Blink dagger after that top lane not going the best. He recovered fantastically because he got the lane left to himself. And with these ultis, I mean, with the Phoenix and with that big rotation, they brought all 5. And yeah, Forward was not prepared for that at all. They don't have level 6 yet on the Lich. And it was the Tidehunter who got initiated on. He got a Ravage off. It hit pretty decently, but they didn't have everybody there as the Ravage came off. And, I mean, Pugna got instantly killed. Gets jumped on and just dead. So one scary thing about Pugna versus like Centaur and these heroes that can just close the gap on you with like the Phoenix.
So 5 to 6, a lot of those kills mean it's a big swing going back into the favor of J.Storm, as recognizing the strength of this draft. And Bryle now, after finishing off the Kaya, going immediately into the BKB.
He needs, yeah, that's what we were saying, right? Versus Pugna, you need a BKB as fast as possible. So I do agree with this. Getting his own little one item first, and then prioritizing for the rest of the game plan for his team.
Oh, Fear moves over and does place down a ward, it looked like, right within vision, but it will be taken out by the Phoenix. We'll see if Forward are able to get that D-ward as Moo is up here. Top lane, a steal of Omni Slash, kind of garbage value for MSS.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, it's really not what it used to be great because it had the, you know, you got a lot of damage out of it, but Rubik has such slow attack speed. You get like such slow actual hits out of it. No. It looks cool. You know, you can TP while omniing as well, so you can save yourself with it or something. But
I like that.
But yeah, look at this. J.Storm, they are just looking to make plays. With this Centaur Blink Dagger, they know they can play this fast pace.
Yep, an immediate TP cancel as Forward realize, yeah, we can't take this fight. Yeah. So they will lose the tier 2 tower.
Much harder for Forward to actually just straight up make plays, right? Looking at their lineup, they don't have a real initiator in comparison to what J.Storm has, which is Blink Centaur. I mean, they have Tidehunter, but that's not the way Tide's played anymore. He's played with just like auras, and he walks to a position, and then you just take a fight around him. Well, J.Storm has a lot of potential to just make ganks happen non-stop. And
SVG.
He just wants the bounties.
Give it to me.
Oh, Phoenix TPs.
Oh, March, he'll get there.
Oh.
And SVG, is he gonna
make him work for it?
In here. Well, Frost Shield could go over and see if he can get the deny from the Ancients, but not going to happen. So that will be OD cleaning up that stack. And, well, with that time, you see Forward get some pretty good farm around the map. Resolution was able to farm out their entire jungle pretty much, and now has a Manta style done.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, right? It's like they got a great fight bottom J.Storm. They even got a nice pickup. They got some deep vision down, but they're not addressing the Terrorblade, who is having the time of his life in the jungle. They do have heroes that can deal with it, though. They have good lockdown, OD being one of the better ones versus it as well. Until BKB comes out, right? Like, eventually, that Terrorblade will get BKB, and then fights became a lot harder. But he wants to be as greedy as possible. Get Manta. Get Scotty.
Yeah.
Get your own greedy items first.
Maybe a Blink later could be good as well. Try and save yourself from Astral.
Yeah.
Or after Astral, I should say.
I'm looking to see if anyone's building something like 4 staves or just like anything like glimmers, things to just save Pugna, pretty much. Just get some type of saving items, because you know he's probably going to get jumped at some points, MSS.
Oh, quick jump there, and he's going to eat the dust. And SVG moving in. They want to try and see if they can get the return kill onto Moo, who is going to be showing in lane. They have the Sinister Gaze. Besides that, it's really hard to get the kill in the duration of that, but they have the Ravage to follow up afterwards. Don't decide to use it for Rev with the interrupt there. Now the spin onto SVG. They're moving in with March as well. And that's just to force back Forward.
They don't want to fight. Yeah, Rubik's dead. Rezo doesn't want to fight. Rezo wants to farm. He has no interest in joining his team.
So J.Storm going to move into the jungle now. And Forward just trying to make as much space as possible for that Terrorblade, but they've got to be wary.
They saw he used meta top. They just saw the illusions when he was pushing out the wave, so they know there's no meta if he does come down bottom.
And Universe is completely alone here, and they're going to find him. The double edge, he's able to get the Kraken Shell off, trying to walk away. Jukes through the trees. That keeps him alive for the moment. The Ravage, the Astral catches, though, right on the edge and stealing away the Sane's Eclipse. That is going to be a dead Universe. Maybe they can find a counter kill here, though, as Yawar has shown up. Chain Frost only bounces once as Bryle brought down low, but not low enough. And Moo has also shown up. Now turns onto Yawar. They kill off SVG, and J.Storm just outmaneuvering here for Forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's J.Storm playing with 5 heroes and Forward only playing with 4 this whole time. I mean, Rezo is literally just playing his own game. Doesn't want to show up to any of these situations. In this situation, of course, he wouldn't without meta. But yeah, they're all just making space for him. That's what it seems like their game plan is for Forward. Even if they're losing heroes, this is how they want to play, it seems.
I mean, heads-up play from J.Storm as well to recognize Metamorphosis popped. There is nothing that they can do to take this fight.
Yeah, and I saw the pings coming out. That's why I think it was. Yeah. I want to say it was either Fear or Moo that was pinging up in the top lane as soon as they saw the TB walk into the lane. So they go for the deep dives, even because they have the vision down there too, right? That's the area that that J.Storm wants to be playing around, is the enemy jungle, because that's where all their wards are.
And something else to mention is you've got a lot of play callers on this J.Storm team who are constantly keeping their eyes on the map, and very vocal players.
They do have a very vocal team. Even I mean, I didn't really know how much Milan is in the games, to be honest, but like with these guys, Bryle's probably the quiet one. I think March talks a lot. Fear says has his own calls in the game. Moo too. Forev, same thing. Definitely a vocal group. As they're looking to go into that Roche, they know that the Ravage was used in that previous fight. Same thing with Chain Frost down bottom.
60 seconds. I do feel like we haven't seen the full 5-on-5 yet, which we keep on reiterating from Forward. So one resolution shows up. They need to be a lot more wary, J.Storm.
Yeah, I think Rezo wants to ideally get Scotty and then get his BKB and then show up. Because then he doesn't have to worry about the OD so much. Maybe he even goes even more greedy and goes for like Butterfly, since he already has so much stats to deal with the OD after the Scotty.
Right.
It seems like that might be the playstyle that they're going for.
I mean, keep in mind here that this is going to be still just a Tier 1 tower taken in the bottom lane, and that's it for J.Storm. Meanwhile, Forward have been able to take both the mid and the top, and they're even keeping the creeps pushed out against the bottom Tier 1 tower. So as long as they can keep buying time, feels like they're at least somewhat comfortable with that.
I mean, they've kept the gold lead. The gold lead's theirs. Forward has gold lead and net worth lead is
Universe.
Experience lead is at 0.
Need to be careful here. There is a Ravage available. Soulbind onto 2. Chase Forward for more. They have the Shrine available and already popping in Resolution. As soon as he shows up, J.Storm leaves.
They just get the hell. They're like, oh god, he's here. He's joined the fray. I also believe they stole Stampede there too, so definitely a bit of a threat. That's a very useful ability because on the side of forward, their catch can be a bit limited. But with this, maybe they can actually try to get something here.
Speaking of which, Bryle popped the BKB. What's going on, buddies? Now they're running away from the rest of J.Storm, but need to make sure they don't dive too deep since that BKB is going to wear off soon. And Ravage still held.
No March dove in, though. Trying to force this egg in a bad position.
The silence is still there. War just jumps forwards and Dagons. And with that, J.Storm can't feel comfortable taking a fight.
Nope. BKB was used. OD can't fight without BKB versus Pugna. And yeah, Ravage is still available. Meta is now going to be wearing off. And back to the jungle. And it is going to be, okay, it is the third item BKB. I thought maybe he's going to be really crazy and go for a B-Fly on top, but no. This is the way so he can actually join the fights and not be worried about dying to OD and just getting controlled by Centaur and Phoenix.
As far as the way that these team fights end up looking, I mean, as far Mu is going to keep on trying to chase in there and just get on top of the Terrorblade or whoever he happens to fall on. Like, how important is the Stampede in these fights for J.Storm?
I mean, it's massive. It's anytime you're playing versus a hero like a Pugna Sniper, these heroes that just want to sit in the back lines, it's your biggest thing. Because if you can get them and take them out of the fight, a lot of the damage is gone.
Well, Tier 1 tower being assaulted.
We see Mu is going back for a Battle Fury, by the way, after the Manta.
Yeah.
So wanting to be able to keep up that farm, keep up that pace versus the Tower Blade, and I mean the Cleave versus the Illusions, of course.
So J.Storm bring 5 to the mid lane, take down that Tier 1 tower. Resolution continues to farm.
He's getting so big. I mean, he's 4,000 gold ahead of the Juggernaut and the OD.
This kid farms.
Yeah. So they're looking to threaten the rush. Meta's down still for 30 more seconds, but Forward does have everything else.
And they know that they're in here. Illusion gets sent in. Pugna is a little far away, but could TP if he needs to, or can just go for the walk. Universe.
This isn't the fastest rush by any means by J.Storm either. They only really have right clicks coming up from the Juggernaut. They have no minus armor or any amplification on that rush.
You have to be so careful fighting into Ravage, but likewise, March with the Supernova can make a big turn in this as well.
It is only a level 1 Supernova, though, so very easy to kill if they don't have a follow-up disable coming up from the Centaur.
I mean, and they should know that Roche is still being taken. J.Storm have not left this area. We're not seeing any Illusions walk in, though.
I think they know also that they kill pretty slow.
They're moving in with Tidehunter. Universe, if he walks into the pit, he's basically committed at that point. You could even at this point just Astral him if Bryle happens to show up. So Universe walks into position, trying to find that opening. He has Ravage available with the Blade Fury, though. It's a little bit scary walking into it. The Decrep trying to get it off in time. No, but they blow up Universe. He doesn't have buyback. All right, it might still be enough to force him back, though. As Yawar gets a double kill. Able to fill off Forev afterwards, and now Resolution just walks into the pit.
The Netherward doing work. They're killing March before he's able to do anything. Now he gets the egg on the high ground, but
way out on the outside. They jump in with Forev, find the stun, able to steal away the Aegis. Forev, a play and a half, and now the banishment. But MSS, he jumps in with the hoof stomp, able to interrupt. Resolution couldn't get the Sunder off, and now they need to walk away. They need to get out of here, though TB means it's no fight at all. Yawar does kill off that Supernova Phoenix, but it looks like he might end up paying the price as well. So 3 go down, and MSS jumps back in. It's not enough. He's able to find the 1 kill onto Mu. That's huge. But now, can they find any more? Universe walks in, wants to kill off Fear. MSS is saving this day. My God.
Oh my, those hoof stomps. That actually salvaged almost a disaster there coming in from MSS. Whoa. That was nicely done there by him. And man, the thing that is really actually bugging Universe a lot is really this Grimstroke. This Phantom's Embrace. He's having a hard time getting it off himself because that's really what's screwing him over in the fights. Like that last time, he could have gotten a Ravage up, but no, he can't because he's Phantom's Embrace and he can't really hit it.
Certainly not the most attack speed in the world, and yeah, that is incredibly tough to deal with.
He has to prioritize it now. Like he has phase boot, so he does have some. He has to be able to try to turn and hit it though because it's being a huge problem for him. But yeah, that looked like it was going to be really bad for Forward, and then ends up being kind of an even split, and we are continuing this even game.
I mean, Forev still has the Aegis. Certainly, you would have loved to get it on maybe the OD.
Yeah.
But considering he's a hero that just goes in at the start, you know, hoof stomp, double edge. If he ends up dying even now, it's not the biggest deal in the world.
Yeah.
But where do we stand now? I mean, I guess that it's just Terrorblade who's still ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's still pretty even. Oh, they might get a kill out of this though here.
Yeah. Stomp forward, SVG. They are TPing in, but it was never going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like I say even just because like J.Storm, they got they got the Aegis and they killed this, but they also lost their Jug, and MSS got really rich. So it's like they have an Aegis, but it's not on like their hero that they wanted, like you were saying.
Yeah. Well, the glyph used there for the tier 1 tower. We'll see if the Terrorblade Illusions. Oh, Hoof Stomp again, finding another MSS with the Lifto, trying to interrupt Yuar. There's going to be the Dagon and also the Life Drain, the follow-up, trying to kill off this big tanky Centaur. They will finally take him, but now that burn coming from the Phoenix, and Frev just going to have to back out. Couldn't go for the turnaround there on the Pugna.
Yuar down to 40 HP, almost actually taken out because of that. Resolution now has the big item, though. So that last situation where he got controlled, gets stunned in the pit, now he will have a BKB to be able to actually just get into the midst of everything and fight versus this OD and not be too concerned about himself. And he has ways to stick on targets because he has the Scotty first, so even though there's a BKB that gets popped by OD, he can stick. If Jug spins, same thing.
26 minutes and back to just about even.
This is such an incredible, like, it's never gone over 2K gold lead or 2K experience lead in 26 minutes. That's something you don't really see happen too much.
No. Well, and maybe a testament to how well these teams know each other, too, that they've been playing, I'm sure, scrims together, and obviously in the qualifiers having to face off against each other a couple times. Bryle just barely passes by MSS, and he will be punished this time around. We'll have a lift when he comes out of it, but very difficult to get anything off as he just dies.
Yep. And all these kills matter, like we were saying in the even game.
Yeah.
Actually gives so much. Like XP change, 1600.
I mean, MSS has been farmed.
He is. I mean, he just got a huge kill, a solo kill. Well, solo experience and gold when he killed that Jug. So he's up to level 15 on the Rubik, while Tidehunter is level 13.
Yeah.
So that's just to display that one.
I guess I'm just sort of looking at the net worth here, and March and SVG feel like a similar style of player.
Yeah.
Sitting bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, you see Fear is very farmed, though, on this Grimstroke. Veil plus his Aether Lens, GPM talents. Even now has a gem, too, so map control continuing to be pretty good for J.Storm, especially in the bottom side of the map. That's like where they've been mostly focusing their vision.
And so the Tier 2 tower possibly going to be assaulted in the top lane by Forward Gaming, and Fear keeps that pressure out. And they will take it. Yuar finishes off with the Nether Blast, continuing to level up that Dagon.
Yeah. I mean, he's got his Blink Dagger. Does anyone have a save item for him, though? I don't see anybody. No, nobody's building one for him. No one's building any Force Staffs or any Glimmerers or anything. MSS wants his Aghanims, because I mean, if he can steal, if he can get like Stampede, it's probably one of the best ones. But
Astral's not bad either. You know, double
Astrals.
Astrals.
Double Astral. It's pretty good. I'd say it's the damage mitigation, though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And they've got, if he's ever able to steal that. So those are the frequency of spells, but going for more of a greedy style, like this is, like some teams you see go for more team play. These guys are going more for themselves.
Resolution getting close to that level 20 talent.
Yeah, level 20 plus Butterfly. I think this could be a stat game, just because he's versus OD. Reflection is amazing, absolutely amazing versus Juggernaut, but he has ways to remove it twice-fold because of Manta and Spin.
Bryle shows himself in this bottom lane. Does have BKB still. They have a couple of forms of hard disable, but they need to find him first. And as soon as they reveal on the creep wave there, Bryle just going to continue to head north, TP out, and that smoke is not going to bear fruit.
Race to the Butterfly is this one. Moo is a little bit behind the Terrorblade on that Butterfly. And this Butterfly on Resolution is going to be absolutely huge, because versus Juggernaut, of course, no MKB, and OD, not an MKB builder. So, yeah, Evasion just the best thing in the game versus OD. Or one of those things.
Granted, you still do have, like, Sanity's Eclipse, so it can be pretty nice if you start building up that int, but it's not necessarily a guaranteed thing. And I guess the other thing to talk about there is going to be the mana burn and making sure that the TB can get Sunder off.
Yeah, he's got the BKB though, right? And he does have a lot of stats. I'm waiting to see if he does. I'm pretty sure this is a 10-stat game, because just as many stats as possible versus OD, so you don't get destroyed by Sanity.
Right. So we are going to see the constant pressure.
Okay.
You know what's up.
Yeah, I figured in this type of game, like we were saying, there's too many ways to remove it. And,
Oh, Resolution. Getting kind of bold there, walking over and picking up both of those.
Finishes up his B-Fly as well and picks up both bounties. And there's a DD top. All right, this could be the game changer. He's also still, I mean, he's still 6,000 gold ahead of the next two, but.
Yeah, this is nuts. Resolution just so farmed, and the creep wave is already pushing towards mid. It feels like all of the stars are kind of aligning here in this moment. Roche is going to respawn in potentially 45 seconds, probably a little bit more than that. Depends on the timer.
They also have Universe with the Blink Dagger, so we were talking about how most people, you don't really see the blinks on the Tides too much. Now they have a form of initiation, a form to start the fight, and they do a lot of damage on the side of forward still. Yeah. That being said, though, J.Storm, they've actually able to claim themselves a gold lead, and they at least have 2 carries farming pretty significantly. Not to say like Yawar is completely out of it, but he's not farming nearly at the same pace as the OD or the Juggernaut or the Terrorblade. It's
just a different style, right? It feels like Yawar was that one that ran around and made things happen, while Resolution just chilled, and now it's Resolution with the DD. He had it bottled up. They force out the Glyph. A 4-man smoke up right now while Juggernaut is pushing in that bottom lane.
Double catapults, too. This is...
Oh, jump in. BKB reactions coming from Resolution. So pretty. They're so binded together, but that's Universal Resolution. I don't think they care. March gets clipped down, and they force out that buyback. Didn't pick up the gem.
MSS stole Stampede again. He doesn't have the Aghanims just yet, but still a very strong tool. They only really had to commit the BKB just now. And they still have Ravage.
Yeah, the double catapult, it makes them feel like they need to go back and defend against this. They would have loved to be able to just stick around, but can't quite do it against that. And it looks like the Roche timer is going to be a relatively middle-of-the-road one, 2.5 minutes roughly before it respawns. As forward back out, take the tier 3, they can set their sights on shrines if they want. And that would be huge for the Roche fight.
Yeah. So Forev had to use buyback, though. So that can definitely be concerning in the next upcoming fights, especially when it's going to be a Roche fight, right? One of the biggest things that teams talk about now is when you're taking Roche fights, it's before the Roche fight happens is, do we have buyback? Who has buyback?
Right.
Who's going to throw their life away and then buy back and force spells on themselves? So Forev will not have it.
Has the sheep stick, though.
They do have the sheep on Bryle. Yeah, he's very strong. He's actually also gone for this 20 strength in this game rather than going for the Sanities multiplier that we've been seeing a lot. So he wants to go for his own tank ability.
Yeah, and we saw why in that last fight. He just got chunked apart. The butterfly is done now for Moo. Hasn't been able to be the biggest damage dealer in the world as of yet, like we talked about. But we'll eventually be going into that MKB, I would imagine, as J.Storm just keep a couple in the pit, but they're going to be sitting there for a little bit over a minute.
Both teams are playing in this area, though.
Yeah.
It's all about this next Roshan.
I mean, if you're forward, it feels like one of those moves where you could maybe try and wrap around and see if you could take out that shrine.
He doesn't have meta. I think that's what they're kind of waiting for. I don't think they want to make an aggressive play until that happens. And he pretty much has a Linken's finish too. Linken's in this game. We were talking about how important the stats are versus OD. He's going to have even more stats. He's going to have a way to block the Hex.
I mean, this is going to be 2 items up, basically. And Forev could go for the initiation there. Got to be careful. Slow down a little bit. They don't have MSS in this fight.
They don't have like a blink hex though, right? Like Bryle has a hex, but if you blink and you try to go for a blink stomp, a lot of times those Terrorblades will get their BKBs off because of the animation.
Trying to force something here. Rubik has been pushing in that bottom lane, and we'll have a full creep wave on it as forward find themselves illusion versus illusion there for a minute, but Reza will send in his. Roche still not respawning, and he finishes off the Linken's.
He's on pretty much 6-slotted now, and they still have Stampede stolen this whole time for the chase and for the disengage.
Another DD spawns here in the bottom lane.
Oh my god.
Oh man, that is what forward want to see.
That's some good luck. The Glyph is on cooldown too. It looks like they maybe just make J.Storm take a choice. Yeah, Roche might be spawning, but let's just knock on your high ground.
I mean, this is going to be so much damage.
There's no Glyph. They're going to walk up. This Terrorblade is going to be hitting. Look at his damage. Ready?
I mean, this is a huge problem for J.Storm. They need to TP back immediately, but if they don't bring everybody, then Roche might be able to get picked up for free. So Resolution focusing on this melee barracks. He doesn't want to get hit by the Sunray. Forev is going to come back as well. As you said, Stampede, they jump in the Ravage. They find one already. Can they blow him up in time, though? Not quite there. March doesn't go down, so this Ravage does absolutely nothing.
They got to disengage full.
They need to get the hell out of here. Chase forward, Bryle. They brink the Hex. They're able to find it. They're taking him down with the decrep. Oh my God, the Resolution living through it. Such a big play. They're coming in from Yawar right when they needed him most. The Supernova is going to connect, but they do bring him down low. Resolution will have the Sunder afterwards trying to stay alive. It doesn't happen. They take him down, and Universe to fall as well. 4 die from forward.
Wow, that was very close to being a huge turnaround, but the egg actually connecting on pretty much everybody, and they get the chain stun afterwards from Forev before the Sunder can come out. They weren't able to actually kill the Phoenix. I don't know if...
It looked like he might have been decrept or so. I
think he
sure.
got decrept, right? I think so. I saw disarmed over his head, so yeah, I think he was decrept, and they couldn't actually focus fire him, so... Oh, Yawar making a bit of a mistake there. When
the later decrypt was so good.
The later one was so good, but the one before. They still get the racks really fast, but not able to get the disengage. And now, J.Storm, they get a Roche.
Decrypt giveth, decrypt taketh away. And yeah, you can see March. The fact that he lives there does make all the difference in the world. And of course, the TB in the end, not able to get that Sunder off. I mean, it looked for a second like he might have been able to if he would have focused one of the other targets, but tough stuff indeed.
Yeah.
And now 5,000 gold lead for J.Storm, Aegis in hand. Gotta wonder, what do you do at this point if you're forward gaming?
Don't get caught right now trying to defend. Be very careful here, as they are going to play aggressive even if they don't have their sanity.
I mean, they don't have meta. Okay.
Yeah, they're all backing out now.
Meta and Ravage are coming off cooldown in roughly 30 seconds for both of them.
Yeah, J.Storm doesn't, I mean, they don't really feel the need to force now. They just got Aegis Cheese. They have a significant amount of gold that they can use to pick up some big items.
Yeah. They have the Aghanim Scepter done on the Rubik, and getting that soon finished on Centaur make a pretty big difference as well.
I mean, they just picked up so much. Like March was, we were talking about how March was very squishy, like quite a bit ago. Just hit level 16 because of those last few fights. Like we were mentioning how experience and gold were very even too. Gold says 6K. Look at that experience after those last situations is the biggest thing. 20,000. So the levels on the side of J.Storm really catapulted forward, and they're getting so much tankier because of it now.
Yeah, that makes all the difference in the world. And
yeah, March has 2,600 health on a Phoenix now.
With a Glimmer Cape.
With a Glimmer Cape, so much harder to bring down.
Well, 13 to 21, and now you kind of need to play that stall it out type of mode, it feels like. I mean, you still have an incredibly farmed Terrorblade, about 5,000 gold ahead of the next highest.
But it is him, and then you see a lot of those, a lot of those dire heroes in between. It's like, yeah, there's a Pugna in between there, but then it's a Grimstroke. I mean, Grimstroke with nearly the same net worth as a Pugna, and then a Centaur right afterwards, and then the rest of your heroes. So J.Storm, they have a better spread of gold, and yeah, it's making differences. Yeah, Fear is even going for he's queued up a Dagon.
Love to see it.
Dagon on Grimstroke.
Why not?
Dagon plus Veil, I mean, double Dagon. Exactly. His Soulbinds have been, I mean, we were talking about he didn't have like the best things to combo with it. He actually hasn't had to really. He's just been getting really good Soulbinds.
Forev, they steal Stampede, which, oh no, they still retaliate. Great play there from Forev. It will still come at the cost of his life.
And they get the gem out of that.
I mean, it was a nice thought. They don't steal Stampede at least, but...
He is dead for quite a while now. But Ryle looks like he wants to try to do something here.
This is very bold. Chase forward. Now, disarm for the moment. Fear jumps in. The Omni slash damage. He killed them all. Move, but resolution. Can he do it? It's him against the world right now, and he's doing a pretty good show of it as he burns through that Aegis. They buy back on the Pugna, trying to force move back. They could maybe kill off that Healing Ward the Illusion. They're going to Astral for himself, and now the move forward. The Inkswell there as well. They're trying to burn through him. Can they kill him off in time with the life drain? You are able to save his buddy's life, and there's going to be the Sunder. The walk forward, trying to find that kill. Stealing the Healing Ward, can give that over to his team as MSS jumps forward, tries to kill Bryle. Isn't quite going to happen. He gets a spin, but there's going to be Moo trying to find the kill. Can they bring him down? The butterfly misses, but the jump forward, and Yawar will claim his prize.
Whew. That was looking very, very good for J.Storm, but a buyback from Yawar and then being able to fight on top of their shrine pretty much makes the difference there. Rezo able to do a crazy amount of damage in that fight on top of with that Pugna. We don't actually see the whole damage because it was too long of a fight.
Yeah. And it did cost those buybacks, of course. You have two of them used, both MSS as well as Yawar. God, that Omni slash damage, though, that was insane.
Yeah. I mean, the late game Omni is ridiculous. And that's also him not spending money on an item that would make him do more damage. Moo went for Boots of Travel and then has 5K gold in his bank on the Juggernaut, so.
That's insane. They do want to try and force out this buyback, if at all possible. Resolution, still 50 seconds until the Juggernaut respawns, and they have already gotten a good bit of damage onto this melee barracks. It looks like they might be able to force this out here as he keeps on punching. And the barracks is down.
That's 2. I mean, they've gotten 2 melee racks, and they're 6k gold behind.
They're making it happen.
They definitely are. They're making very, very nice moves, and Move really wanted to hold on to buyback.
Yeah. Very impressed with J.Storm's constant making sure that they don't give up some of these spells. Also, keeps on being Equilibrium that gets passed over to MSS.
They have, I mean, the big 3, right, have great ways of covering their abilities. Like OD has Equilibrium, Centaur has Retaliate, Phoenix has Fire Spirit.
Yep.
So definitely good ways to cover their ultimates when they use them. But I mean, Rezo was at, I think, like 1,600 gold before that fight started on the Terrorblade, and he's at 7,000 gold now.
Oh my, what a monster.
So got a very significant amount of gold on him. As he has meta available and forward, even though they're behind in net worth, it feels like they still have a great way to be able to take fights, just because of how insanely strong this TB is. And Fear's actually switched.
Okay.
He's going to have double Hex instead. So that's also that's probably the better choice in this game. They need the control. Even if there's a Linken's on Rezo, we've seen they've done a pretty good job of like throwing an Astral to break it and then using the Hex.
I mean, you look at all of this illusion spam and how much damage is just being done to this tier 3 tower. They're behind over 20,000 in experience, 5,000 in net worth, and they're still putting pressure on J.Storm constantly. It's just the pressure of what a Terrorblade provides you in this game. It's so hard to deal with.
And these 2 catapults are killing the tower. They're not hitting it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the near forefront of your thought is going to be the Terrorblade illusions, but with nothing ventured, they're able to get so much damage onto that tower.
Yeah. And, I mean, was that just another double damage, I believe?
Yes, it was.
So look at that. Another DD for Rezo. Also going to be hitting level 25 too. Also can finish up at full Daedalus, so his damage is going to be through the roof. And they have momentum coming. I mean, mid lane and bottom lane are going to be pushing in constantly, so they can look to get wards out and look to take fights on the side of forward.
He's an 11,000 net worth ahead of the next highest. He has over 300 last hits over the next highest. Resolution is this indomitable monster.
That's the way they played. That's the whole way that they played for Rezo in this game. The first like 15 minutes, he was not part of the team.
Lift up, pulling back in onto one. The Ravage is going to be there as well. They bring him down super low. Bryle, he gets off the Astral Imprisonment, saving his life at the moment. Brev also there as well, but they're able to steal Stampede yet again. And this is the damage mitigation, turning now onto that egg. They need to blow it up. They're missing from the high ground, but they do eventually kill it off. But Mu claims his prize, takes down Yawar, and now turning onto Mu. Are they going to be able to blow him up in time? The healing ward, it's surviving through it. They do finally bring that one down, and now MSS spinning forward, trying to kill off Bryle, and they will get that kill coming from Resolution as Mu eventually able to find his way out of that fight. MSS takes off that Phantom's Embrace, but can't quite get into range for Fear. Forward and Resolution are just too difficult to deal with.
They get the initiation. They got the jump onto J.Storm, and again, it's a DD Terrorblade for the 3rd time. It seems like in like 3 fights in a row, he's able to find that one.
He takes the Metamorphosis range.
Yeah.
And now they force out the buybacks. J.Storm are still leading in net worth, and so much damage is being done to the base that they actually can't stop this, it feels like. Mu takes off that reflection. The movement forward, though, look at how much damage he does. The chase forward coming. They want to bring him down, and they actually kill him off. No help, no save, no nothing. Terrorblade's done.
Oh, the rest of them are going to get out, costing them 2 buybacks to get the kill. The rest do escape. And I mean, structural damage has been done earlier.
Yeah. And the lanes, I mean, that is one of the things. He's almost playing it like the TB in a way, where he just keeps all of those lanes constantly pressured out with his illusions.
Yep.
And that could become a problem if J.Storm are able to just walk down one of these lanes. 60 seconds. No, he does have buyback available. And Roche respawning in just over a minute.
Yep. The real big thing is really like watching out, like you mentioned in the last fight. It's watch out for those Stampede steals. Like we mentioned a lot of times, Stampede steal plus the Frost Shield. This is just straight damage mitigation versus a Juggernaut.
TB does finish off that Daedalus now. Did not have it in that last fight. And this is J.Storm walking up to high ground. You don't want to have to buy back here if you are that Terrorblade, but J.Storm putting so much pressure on, might have to give up something. At least the tier 3, it feels like.
Frost Shield's so good at defending, though.
It is. And wanted to go in for the Anchor Smash. Wasn't quite able to get it there on the Tidehunter. Mu continuing to move forward. They have everybody up front and center. They do use that glyph. They want to keep this barracks alive if they can make it happen. But of course, also don't want to have to overcommit. The decrypt, everything that they can do to slow down this push. Maybe if they can force the fight afterwards, they take the melee. They want to chase this one down. The Chain Frost slowing down Marsh a little bit. But they won't overcommit, it feels like. Terrorblade is alive. Didn't have to use the buyback. They're gonna have to give that one up, it looks like.
Yeah, they don't want to. They want to chase, but they don't want to chase into a high ground.
Yeah.
Always the fear is these high grounds lately, especially, and they're pinging it out. They know.
Oh, smoke. Gotta
Maybe
be careful.
are they gonna go for a full wrap?
I mean, at Terrorblade right now, they realize they're smoked up behind them.
They're gonna go for this full wrap. There's an Arcane Rune top as well.
It's dangerous.
Oh, they're claiming themselves a high ground maybe here.
This is big. Forev, the one that gets initiated on, they're going to Stampede immediately and now trying to run away. This does give up what's happening, but now Stampede used as well as Soulbind.
Yep.
And they're moving forward. They're actually going to be able to push in towards these barracks. J.Storm have to come back and defend.
They're running directly at Moo. Moo needs to be careful here.
He TP'd into this one.
He is speedy, though.
And he does have a TP available afterwards. Obviously, using those boots of travel, he can spin TP to get away. Good play there from Moo to kill the creep wave and still get back to defend.
Rezo's meta is only got a quarter left on it, too, so they're trying to get as much as possible out of it, but there's a glyph available for J.Storm.
Lich very far away, kind of their main source of save on this team, and it looks like they're going to back up and head towards the pit. But again, it's tough to move in there when you don't have Metamorphosis and J.Storm can come and contest.
Yeah, still does a crazy amount of damage with Daedalus, and with Vlad's, he's got the sustain, but do they have a gem on their side? They do. MSS has one, so I think you want to check out the high grounds, get rid of that vision, make sure that you're not playing where J.Storm sees you, because this one's still up there. I do think that they should, they're going to check it out. They knew that they were all there, so they're like, there's definitely vision there if they're positioned on the high ground there.
Yeah. And into the pit, at least to check, Forev goes. They send out the illusion.
Ward is placed immediately, so they do see. Forward does see the Centaur. And they do have their own saves. You know, we were talking about saves from earlier. SVG did finally, he had it for a bit now, but he did complete that, that Glimmer Cape earlier.
Yeah. Moo stunned by the Roche as he heads in. This has fallen very quickly, and sending in those illusions, they're going to need to react rather rapidly.
How long on meta? Still 50 seconds on meta. He could buy a full refresher. He has the money. He's got it queued up as well on the TV, but
this is really scary. Illusion Rune going to spawn, taking down Roshan, and they're going to use the reflection just to kill off those illusions. Universe can walk into this. The bash from Roche. Oh, it's a scary, tense time here. Obviously, if you jump in and you ravage, there's a chance for a save coming from Bryle. So they're moving in with everybody. March in the back side of it, so that way he can get off a good one. There's the jump forward. He's able to get on to absolutely everybody. They have the Supernova on top of him. Resolution. He doesn't stand a chance there. Hex. Follow-up dead. They got him caught. The buyback immediately comes from 4. Universe, he needs to walk away from this one, but he's already dead as well. They have another buyback, but if they use all of them, they might end up dying if they lose anybody else at this point. The fear, the pullback onto Forev, the hoof stomp, and now they'll walk away. And meanwhile, this whole time, they're trying to go back in and force down Roche, see if they can get it before the rest of Forward can respond. They take down Roche, and they're able to get the Aegis, Cheese, and Refresher, and possibly get out. Heads up play there from J.Storm, and Forev just buying time.
Forev, the madman, he went in. That was like blind. He only had like a little bit of vision from the illusion left for a second.
And now they have caught Bryle, and this man has the Aegis still, and they take him down. Now Soulbind onto 2, the Hex onto 2, the chase forward. Can they do this though? Bryle pops the refresher and now turning to fight. They've lost the Lich. If they lose any more at this point, it could be tragic. Resolution though pops out of this one. The spin and Moo trying to walk away. He's slowed down by the Scotty, and you are the rest of Forward chasing to pull him back in. The nice Force Staff trying to save. Moo running away. The take on tries Samantha to get out of it, and Forev with the big hoof stomp able to walk away. They just want to get away right now, J.Storm, and it looks like it's going to happen.
Oh my god, these fights are crazy. MSS with the, I think that was his Astral, right? Astral play on Rezo as he gets nullified, saving him for a bit, but J.Storm are all able to just disengage these Force Staves, all these little things, and yeah, 19,000 gold lead, 25,000 experience lead. J.Storm, what do they still have? Which items did they actually keep out of all that, though? They
use the Refresher Shard.
They use Refresher Shard. They have Cheese. I think that's it remaining.
It's crazy that for all of that, we're basically back to where we were before. I guess the 5 buybacks, though.
The buybacks are the big thing, yeah. It's
Oh my god.
Jug
look
has
at that
buyback
drop.
and Boots of Travel to be able to come back into fight after, if he does die. So he can play very aggressive on Moo and just go in to start something well. Yeah, forward. They've got no buybacks whatsoever. They do have the refresher.
Time.
So meta was used before, and J.Storm probably have a feeling like there's no meta, but refresher orb can chase that on Terrorblade.
Yeah, we'll see if he decides to just pop that and maybe hide the refresher. We'll see what his decision is.
I think he's waiting as long as possible to see if he needs to. He seemed like kind of sitting in the fountain, just sending illusions.
Yeah. Oh, right. So they would have seen the illusions already then, too. So they're going to know about the refresher.
Yeah, I mean, if they click on it, they should see it. Yep.
Yeah. But the bottom lane is where the pressure is going to go onto this Tier 3 tower, and Moo already claiming it. Again, a lot of structural damage done by Forward. It felt like they were in control despite being behind, but now they're a lot further behind. And with the Frost Shield, Dagon onto Moo, the heal coming from March. How can you take this fight at this point? It's just so hard when you know you don't have the buybacks, even so close to your base.
There's 20 seconds till meta, too. He really doesn't want to use his refresher orb before having the first one.
The smoke up has 5. And J.Storm ready to go for another round. One last set of racks, one more Tier 3 tower. Likewise, if you look at Forward, they have taken both of the other sets of barracks.
Yeah. They're playing this, like the positioning is so good here from J.Storm. Look how they're just all split up. Like Bryle and March are standing on top of each other, but Fear's all the way positioned on the right, and it's only Moo really walking up at all on that high ground as his Jug, because he knows he's safe to do this.
The long duration decrep, and afterwards, the reflection doing a good bit of damage. Phantom's Embrace onto Tidehunter, Soulbind onto 2. They're thinking about fighting here. Moo, they jump forward. BKB, though, in the reaction coming from Forev. They go out with the Stampede, damage mitigation already there, and they're going to just kill off the egg.
It was way too far forward.
March. A rare flub so far in him in this game, and the decrep, the slow, they're going to buy back on the Phoenix, try and get him into this fight, but there's not really anywhere to TP to. Bryle slowed down that Metamorphosis attack range, so they're going to try and chase him down into the trees.
That was the refresher orb used, though, for the second BKB on Rezo.
Universe pops the Ravage. They find Bryle. He's dead. Does have buyback, but he's gone for 2 minutes. So they find themselves at least one, and it looks like Moo is going to be also able to escape.
Able to hold that last set of racks. So we have what? Just 2 racks is left on both sides now.
I mean, you can feel it right now. Best of 1, 2 NA teams. They've fought against each other in the qualifiers for this event. And both of them not giving up an inch.
Now MSS, like you said, the Astral. He's got the saves. He's got the double saves because he has the Aghanims too. So we could see that actually play a factor if he's able to like protect resolution in some of these situations. See, Universe has also queued up a Halberd, one of the better items versus the OD. So if they're able to ever get those could be pretty significant versus the side of J.Storm. But we're going to have to just keep eyes majorly on the buybacks for the next 3 minutes or so.
Well, and you think about the way that this game is going to continue to look going forward, and Resolution can keep those bottom lanes pushed out. They're at equilibrium because both have taken a lane of racks, but the difference maker is the Conjure Image, and obviously you can send out illusions with the Manta Style from Jug, but not as quickly as Rezo will be able to.
Yeah, I guess the one nice thing that Moo has is because he has Boots of Travel, right? He can Boots of Travel to the waves and deal with the illusion, then TP back. I mean, that's pretty neat.
I mean, Terrorblade's going bootless right now.
Yep. Kind of has to just be that turret in this game. Has decent movement speed anyway. Yeah. 406, edgy heroes.
Can't flutter anymore, but that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that actually at some point, like right when they changed it, I kept clicking and I was like, why the hell am I fluttering? I felt pretty foolish.
It happens.
I'm a support player. Support players don't buy Butterfly.
If you do, there's something going wrong.
Yeah. So yeah, still just looking at those buybacks for a bit here as Bryle will be respawning finally in about 10 seconds. And man, Fear, you know, we were talking about how farmed he was, but it just keeps going. Like,
yes.
This is like 6-slotted Grimstroke in a second.
Refresher.
Yeah. Hex 4 people.
That's pretty insane.
He could actually hex 4 people if he's able to get it off. Exactly, but that's pretty unlikely. But he's still incredibly farmed, and he's done a great job of sitting in the backlines. He's only got 2 deaths so far in this game, and his soulbinds have honestly been like really on point.
Yeah, definitely. Has been showing up. And we're getting closer to level 25s, a rare thing that we haven't been able to talk about all that much.
It's true.
That Metamorphosis attack range, it took the 600 health for Juggernaut. Still a little ways away from the Phoenixes, but probably the next one to hit it might be maybe the Rubik. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, it depends on like the next fight, right? Phoenix, there's a lot of people very, everyone's pretty much close to 25, except for, I think SVG is the furthest, level 19.
He's close to 20.
He's close to 20. 20, they're incredibly significant on the side of Lich. Like the 20 and 25, these Frost Shield talents are insane. Absolutely insane.
I mean, it does feel like Tomes could be really value there for him if this game keeps on going on.
Yeah, I mean, 8 second Frost Shield. It has more than a 50% uptime then.
And then the 60 HP regen on it also.
Heals for 480 on buildings as well, by the way.
So the smoke up coming from Forward Gaming. They might just try to bulldoze down this lane. If Storm aren't there, could be a problem. They do have a glyph.
I'm just holding buybacks. I was just waiting to see because we've got like 13 seconds for Pugna, 12 for Rubik. They're all starting to come back up right now.
The only one that isn't is going to be March on this Phoenix.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe that idea behind that Supernova at that point was like, all right, let's just send it in there and then let people beat on the barracks.
It did actually kind of seem like it, yeah.
But nonetheless, mega creeps are what both of these teams are after.
Elimination game, right? This is where you're going to see teams like, especially at this type of point where late game is absolutely the most hectic thing possible between crazy amounts of team fight and Grimstrokes being in the midst. Both teams are being a bit cautious here, waiting for their buybacks.
9,000 gold on this Terrorblade right now. Eyeing up those boots of travel. Could go towards a Moon Shard soon as well. Juggernaut has 10K in the bank right now. I mean, everybody is just so farmed.
Yeah, absolutely rich. DD inside of the Juggernaut's bottle. Very important.
And they're thinking about hitting here onto this shrine, but don't look now. They've got vision in the area on Forward. They see Moo. They see everybody else behind them too, and looks like they're not going to be able to get on top of that shrine in time, but now maybe with J.Storm a little bit separated, they could think about going for this. Resolution's going to reveal himself in just a second. March moving forward as well. The rest of Forward sitting behind him.
Neither side wants to play around the other side's vision advantage. It's like up north a little bit was J.Storm with that ward on the high ground and sentry. Down a little south a little bit, Forward has that one. So both sides just like, vision is way too important in these next upcoming team fights in the late game.
Yeah. Makes all the difference in the world.
The DD Jug with that Vlad's Aura, of course, from March. Full sustain. Kills this Roche so fast. 1,300 crits.
And that one does not look like it's going to be scouted out by Forward, so they're going to have to play back again. And big win here for J.Storm. Refresher, as well as Aegis and Cheese.
Well, one of the scarier ones to always play against is the OD. The double sanity is just delete everybody.
And the double hex, I mean, with Soulbind that can come out also on top of that. You were talking about it earlier. He has that refresher. If you start Soulbinding people together,
these next few fights are going to be so chaotic. Oh my god, this is going to be so hard to keep track of
We'll try our best.
I'm going to try really hard to keep track of like whose Astral is whose.
I know.
Whose quad hex is going on. All right.
First time this event for the Grimstroke. Probably the first time.
First time we've had a 58-minute game at this event, I think, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe not in the other groups. We didn't get to see all the groups, but this is one of the longer ones that, if not the longest one that we've had here on our stream. As, Battle might be able to take away here. Remember, though, he just cheese refresher.
It's so dangerous. From Forward, they're underneath the vision right now. J.Storm wanting to get that opening right there, and Forward are going to back out. Again, you lose one fight in emphatic fashion, and it could just be your base. Granted, everybody has buyback now except for March.
He's got the gold. Just one more minute. Yep. Moonshard was picked up during that little skirmish, or little venture outside.
On their high ground, they have vision as well, a newly placed down Observer Ward. And Moo, he's walking forward to this one. They do have Glyph available, but they don't want to have to be pulled out of position. Lifted up on him. March, he's dead.
Uh-oh.
That ain't good.
It's an instant getaway there by J.Storm, just instantly wanted to disengage. That was meta used, but like we said, he's got a refresher orb.
And he's going to have buyback in 40 seconds anyways. It seems unlikely that Forward are going to be able to do anything with that. You have to anticipate that people have buyback at this point. So
they're still going to try to get something out of it. Top lane, he's sending Illusion. Bottom lane, he's sending 2 Illusions, and then they're going to try to walk mid and try to get something out of it. Looking at Runes, scouting that one out, MSS 2. It's an Illusion. Pretty good for Terrorblade. Not quite a DD, but almost as good.
Yeah. an Arcane up top, but that one might be claimed by the OD depending upon the vision that they get. You're certainly going to, I would imagine, send somebody from forward to go and check that rune. Maybe I'll just want to try and push it out regardless. But this game, it's still 30,000 net worth lead for J.Storm. That becomes much less relevant than the buybacks that you have.
Yeah, I mean, everybody, we've got all 10. We've got all 10 buybacks available, and the big thing I think for Forward is really, I'm watching MSS, is if he's able to, he hasn't gotten a chance actually to steal Soulbind yet in this game. Soulbind could be pretty good for his team, and I mean, or if he's able to actually get any of these big ultis. I think the Stampede is the biggest one, that damage mitigation for his team.
Can make all the difference in the world. Yep. BKB timer is getting low as well. The OD, his is down at 5 seconds. You also have the Terrorblades down at 5 seconds. And I think that those are pretty much the extent of it. As we continue to wait for that Aegis to be reclaimed, roughly 2 minutes.
Yep. MSS still has his BKB, but his is all the way up at like 9 seconds because he's hasn't had to use it nearly as much.
Yeah.
And Vision, yeah, they take out that one ward that J.Storm did have, and I'm assuming they probably have quite a bit saved up inside of their base to be able to place out afterwards. But wards in the next few moments is really going to be around like this Roche area.
61 minutes now. Both teams playing relatively blind on the other side of the map. J.Storm actually completely blind, as you mentioned.
Yep. Forward is starting to make a little bit of a move out here. Their meta is up in 30 seconds, getting some vision too.
What can they do? As Aegis, 1 minute and 20 seconds until it's reclaimed from the Jug. Obviously, they're still going to have the Refresher Shard and the Cheese, which is still held by the Centaur.
Just so much gold inside of the bank for these heroes. It's crazy. Just 9,000 on top of bots too, and a Moon Shard. Moo can start buying items for everyone else.
Oh, SVG, where's the Force Staff? They don't have it. The jump forward to Ravage, though, connecting on everybody. But they have the Supernova on the other side. Now the Soulbind onto 2. Need to back away. SVG and Universe, the ones that are Copper Resolution, with the DD chasing forward, trying to find Bryle. He is going to be able to at least kill off one, but Moo has already killed off 2. The chase almost killing. Needs a couple more. The Astral saving. I don't know if it would have been enough, but now turning on to Moo. He will have a Sunder available if he can get out of this one. He tries to get it off, and he's able to make it happen. But there's the Omni Slash forcing down Resolution. Ywar also in trouble, and Bryle lives. Somehow, some way, the OD gets it done, and MSS just trying to walk away, but eventually, he too will fall.
Oh my god. Rezo was looking like he was doing a crazy amount of damage in the fights, but too much control really coming in and having these items, right? Having that Roche, having this double sanity is really coming into play there. And it's like Rezo is a monster, right? Rezo is a monster for Forward, but J.Storm we talked about a lot. They have multiple monsters that actually contribute into the fights in comparison.
Everybody from J.Storm just hit level 25 forever. If he hits a Hoof Stomp, it's lasting forever. There's the Hex, and just blow up Bryle. What are you doing?
This is late game. Gotta watch your positioning. You can die in a single disable.
Just like that, it puts the kibosh on the push. It is still 5 buybacks pretty much, and I'll lift up in the midst of that dive. And now the chase forward from Ywar. March looking like he is also going to eat the dirt, although maybe the Phoenix just walks away.
Oh?
Chase Phoenix, all right, March does it. He got to put on his juke shoes.
That was, I mean, that's an important live too, because he used his buyback before. That would have been a huge kill there. If Forward was able to get it, they could have at least put some more pressure on.
And again, it's this back to the status quo. At some point, you got to make a move, but it's really hard to do it.
So many buybacks used. The big thing is, though, that J.Storm, they have the buybacks on the big heroes. Moo as well as Bryle have theirs still saved.
Did see the MSS Rubik go for the telekinesis cooldown, so down to 7 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good. Sometimes it's like the 50% spell out might be completely broken in some situations, but in this game, he wants to just have, we saw, like, one disable can win you the game. One disable can just instantly kill somebody, so if you have, the more telekinesis, the better.
And it's a long duration lift, too. Just keeps it up there.
Yeah.
Can pull them back further as well with that level 20 talent, pulling people out of position. The ghetto Bat Rider, if you will.
This is true. This is very true.
So 65 minutes in, and while it feels like we've been on the brink this entire time, we haven't pushed ourselves over the edge as of yet.
Both teams being careful.
Yeah, playing it safe as can be. What else do we see as far as 25s are concerned? Inkswell radius, pretty big.
It's massive. It's massive. Like the plus 200 makes it so big. Yeah, 600 radius. Yeah, that's a lot.
We've got the hit count for the Phoenix and the Centaur going for the hoof stomp duration.
So much. I mean, there's so much disable coming out now on the side of J.Storm between that. And we were talking about the Rubik lift cooldown, but now they've got an Inkswell, which is 600 radius, and a hoof stomp, which lasts also a ridiculously long time. So if they can actually combo a hoof stomp into an Inkswell, someone's going to be stunned for over 6 seconds.
Yeah. Also, the Nether Blast damage is the one that we went for the Pugna.
Yeah. Yawar's game has gotten really hard, though. His positioning, I mean, he can just die pretty much instantly because he's a Pugna in the late game. He's very squishy, and his farm really slowed down in the mid game. Well, in the mid-late game.
Wherever we are now.
now we're in the late game, but his farm had slowed down around 30 minutes ago, whatever you want to call that. That's like the middle-ish late game. And yeah, some of the most gold I've seen on a Juggernaut, 14,600 on top of bots 2, on top of Moonshard.
Yeah, this is where you start buying Moonshards for other people. It feels like. Does
Brian
already
already has
one
it
yet?
though.
Oh
Yeah,
my
Brian
God.
already has it. He doesn't have anyone to give it to. Like, what's he gonna do? Give it to a Centaur, right?
I don't know. It does feel like
options are limited for him to
you're
spend
slotted.
his gold. Yeah, it's like buy obs and sentries for your team. That's what you do.
And obviously gonna be able to switch back in the blink if he needs to.
Yep.
So buyback status, we're still a couple of minutes away for the Radiant. 4 minutes before all of them will be back up again. And
these fights are still, they feel difficult though, even for forward, because it's really, where's the damage coming from in the fights? It's resolution. It's really like all gonna be coming from him, because Yawar, if he's able to survive, sure, he can get his Daggons, his blast off. He will be doing a significant portion, but surviving is super hard as this Pugna in this later game.
Yeah. When you can have certain heroes just key in onto you as well. And the egg, we've seen it just barely get taken down a couple of times. And Moo now just walking forward onto the range barracks saying, come and deal with me.
They know they have the buybacks on their 2 cores, while on the opposing side, they know forward does not have their buybacks.
And of course, the bots level 2 can get them back into this fight, but they've already taken that range barracks. And there is no way to heal this, or that one down, obviously, since it was killed off. The melee will start to regen up.
Wait for that next Roche. Yep. Another refresher shard on top of the refresher orbs that they have. How many refresher orbs do they have now? 1, 2. Bryle could buy one as well. So they already pretty much have 4 refresher shards on the side of J.Storm.
Yeah, it's more than a few. And
well, refresher orbs, yeah.
Just needing that little bit extra to put them over the edge. I think he has that courier. Just keeping the eyes on the other area, and of course forward can't really come and contest this. Need to wait in their base until buybacks come online again. Of course there is that cooldown on refresher shards. They're going to pass it over.
Yep. There's so many refreshers. Everyone has a refresher.
We're going to be seeing things multiple times.
Yeah.
Grimstroke, obviously one of the big late game team fight abilities with Soulbind, can make all the difference in the world if you find that double hex.
Yeah, I mean, it's a BKB piercing Soulbind on top of that too, just for like the slow and the annoyance, even if it doesn't get comboed.
A very long time, the Sinister Gaze with the Glimmer Cape and Moo, and a need to walk back. He's taking a lot of damage there. Doesn't feel comfortable sticking around that much longer. And Metamorphosis pop from Resolution, that might be the cue for J.Storm to back out, at least for the moment. And they have the healing ward. They just want to take down this barracks.
I mean, even if they get Mega Creeps,
right?
Forward can hold for versus Mega Creeps. Like, they've got a Vlad's Tide, they've got a Terrorblade, they've got heroes that can definitely deal with it.
70 minutes, and it still feels like it could be a little bit longer than that.
Oh, yeah. Get comfortable.
Terrorblade.
As soon as we say that, though, you know,
all right,
remember,
of course.
we just said that, so game could probably end abruptly in the next 30 seconds or so.
And they don't have buybacks for another minute.
Yep.
It's scary times, Moo. Frost Shield is there. The lift up yet again. Need to be careful about overcommitting. They have the Sinister Gaze. Pull it back in. There's the Ravage to try and interrupt onto the back lines. Not bad at all. Moo is going to be isolated there. The Chain Frost, and now the jump forward. Can they blow him up in time? Says Eclipse. The full combination. MSS Resolution taking a lot of damage. The secondary Soulbind, but the BKB was already out from Rezo, and now Moo trying to taste down Rezo. They have the second Soulbind. They kill him off, and that's 4 dead. 2 minutes. No buybacks. Go for the tier 4s because there is not enough time, I don't believe. No glyph, no nothing.
No,
this might be it.
And just like we said, could be in for a longer one, and like we said, it's going to end in 30 seconds probably because of that. Yeah, J.Storm are able to take it. They know that they had their buybacks. They wanted to force the issue. They get the disables off. The Soulbinds time and time again catching 2 heroes.
Oh, impressive showing from J.Storm as they take down their rivals of Forward Gaming in the best of ones and knock them out of the tournament. You can see March is feeling it.
Yeah, they did a very good job with their big ultis. That was the biggest, like the big thing for me is Moo played an excellent game, but just like this Phoenix and this Grimstroke's positioning a lot of the times, they were seeming to get the disables off over and over again. And in the end there, that egg pops and yeah, it's over.
Well, an impressive showing from J.Storm as they are going to move on in this tournament, and I believe that means that they're going to be facing off against Fnatic next. Forward Gaming, an unfortunate end for them, having to go through a tough group and then get knocked out here in the best of ones.
Yeah, this game, like we said, it seemed like incredibly back and forth. It seemed like J.Storm overall, they were able to take it because of getting, like, I think like every single Roshan, right? Getting all of these Aegis and Cheese and Refresher shards in the later game really made the difference in the fights.
Well, the best of one, the slaughter is going to continue on as we have one more best of one today.
Yep.
But first, let's head back to the panel, see what they thought about that one as we get ready to continue on this madness that we're watching.